Well, we're learning more about a midday shooting yesterday near High and Worcester Streets, with 2 shots reaching the City Hall annex. Western Mass News reporter Reagan Stoddard joining us live in Holyoke today after getting answers from city leaders and police. Reagan.
Chris, I spoke with several city officials today, including Mayor Garcia, about what's being done in the city to reduce gun violence. A window scene taped up at the Holyoke City Hall annex on Friday damaged when gunshots rang out Thursday afternoon, with 2 of 5 bullets fired from a car hitting the building. The car was traced to Chicopee, and Hector Rivera is charged with multiple charges, including assault with a dangerous weapon and drug possession. Holyoke Mayor Joshua Garcia tells Western Mass News he has been in contact with city employees who are upset and angry that this happened.
Thinking of what we can be doing as far as safety precautions here at City Hall in our annex building to make our employees as well as the public feel safe and know that they are safe.
Meanwhile, Holyoke Police Sergeant Joseph Zerhide credits ShopSpotter technology for helping police respond quickly.
There were no calls regarding the shooting. The only reason we went there was because of ShopSpotter.
Police say the city annex was not the intended target, but Holyoke City Councilor David Bartley tells Western Mass News it's still very concerning.
Well, it's appalling, right? The shooting, whether or not it was intended, it went through a window of a public building.
Despite this shooting, city leaders say their ongoing crackdown on gun violence is working.
We have multiple initiatives. We have outreach going on through our community partners that we partner with. We have our Operation Safe Streets that have made a significant impact.
There are many different tactics that we've used to help us respond and also even in a lot of cases prevent. However, it doesn't allow me to eliminate the issues when they happen.
The second suspect involved in Thursday's shooting is still at large. Reporting in Holyoke, Reagan Stoddard, Western Mass News.